Welcome to the No Windy Sleeves podcast, where we discuss personal development topics ranging from health and fitness to business and entrepreneurship. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Oh, and always remember to fuel your body and fill your sleeves.
Whoa! What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Another episode. Finally, 9 months in the making. I got my beautiful wife, Big Ash, to join. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling? Are you a little nervous?
I'm a little nervous.
Don't be nervous. We're just going to shoot the shit. You can make fun of me as much as you want, but I feel like I've been begging you to come on for literally since we dropped the first one, because there's obviously a ton of good shit. People do ask a lot, about us, about our relationship, kind of seeing how much we're at the gym and what we're doing and everything. So I just want to dive into a little bit of everything today and shoot the shit.
Yeah, sounds good. It was getting a little sad watching you beg so much. So,
well, Jesus,
here I am.
I don't know if I need to start it off with it like that. That kind of goes right into, actually one of the things that we wanted to touch on was that right before when we started dating, you turned me down 15 times before we actually were able to, you agreed to go on our first date with me.
9 months, like this time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I broke out all the stops. What did I do? I asked you to go cat shopping.
Yeah, not a good move.
I asked you to go to the gym.
I think that's all.
I asked you to do, was it yoga? We were doing yoga moves? I think you were doing
CrossFit.
Not
everything.
CrossFit, not CrossFit, Brandon. I never asked
That
you
was
to
a
do
long
CrossFit.
time ago.
What else was there? I don't know, but it finally took me, you just getting...
Riding in the Jeep.
Because you used to take my Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
It just took you to get blacked out once at Verdano's, so you agreed to hang out with me. And then you were drinking on our first date because you were probably nervous.
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
But give everyone a little, background about you, a little bit, where you're from, sports, college, everything like that.
So, born and raised Pennsylvania, Northeast PA. Went to Misericordia for, 2.5 years, I think? 2.5 years, played soccer there. And then I really didn't know what I was doing with my life. So I was like, I want to be a nurse. And I tried to get into nursing school, a couple places, and it led me to Wilkes. So then I went to Wilkes, which is in Wilkes-Barre, Kingston area.
Shout out Luke.
And then I went to nursing school, and then that's when we started dating. And graduated nursing school, and here I am now.
Funny story, actually. You dated my roommate for 2 years. I always had a little crush on you
I try to forget
dating.
those times.
I always said, people are like, oh, how long you guys know each other? I was like, well, we started dating in 2016. No, I'm just kidding. 2014, but we were friends for a while before, because you were a freshman 2010, came in, then you actually dated my roommate, so we actually hung out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you used to take my Jeep because you were the only girl. Then you had to drive stick.
Yeah.
And you would never put gas in. Every time I came back from a baseball game, it would be empty.
And I ate all your Girl Scout cookies.
Ate all my Girl Scout cookies. Some things never change with the gas empty in the car. But, so you guys dated for a while, and then I always tell people, I'm like, yeah, we were always flirting a little bit when they were dating.
God.
She always knew we'd end up. But with soccer and everything, I think was that a hard thing to leave Misericordia and stop playing when you went to Wilkes?
Yeah, I mean, I made my best friends on the soccer team. Those were all my friends. That's all I knew, whole life.
Yeah, because all your really close friends now are still the ones from Misericordia, the ones you played soccer with.
Yeah.
But you still live with them.
I still live with them when I transferred. And then, a lot of them were a year older than me and they graduated. So I still live with, the younger ones, my age ones, the younger ones. But yeah, it was definitely hard. I mean, I played soccer since I was 5 years old. So, but, you have to grow up and make a decision for your future.
That was the best part for me, though, because you transferred schools. I was working for the school. So technically, because you transferred, I was allowed to hang out with you, even though you still lived right at Misericordia. So you're still at all the Misericordia bars or whatever and parties. So I still was able to see you there.
Yeah, because we even said if I was going to Misericordia, we wouldn't even be together.
No, we wouldn't have been allowed to. Probably would have met someone else or something at that point. But fast forward to that. So obviously, A lot of people don't know like how good Misericordia women's soccer is. You guys were
Yeah. So it was the year that I left. So like technically my junior year, it would have been like, so we won, what is it? MAC conference. And then we went on to, what's the rest called? The NCAA tournament. And then we did Sweet 16, the Elite Eight, and we made it to the Final Four all the way to San Antonio, Texas. We unfortunately lost, but that was the first time that we got that far and that any team ever went that far.
And you were the first shootout kicker.
Oh my God. Yeah, Sweet
Lower
16,
left?
we had penalty kicks, and I was the first one to go. Very nerve-wracking for that, too. I made it, by the way.
Of course, no doubt, no doubt ever. You always said though that you were always one of the most conditioned people out there when it came to your 110s,
Yeah.
right?
120s.
120s.
Yeah, I mean I lived for that. I always said like if soccer was a different season, or if track was a different season than soccer in high school, I would have went somewhere for track because.
Well, didn't you run? You ran track in high school, or
No.
was it cross country? Or you
Cross
hurt your hip?
country, because that was in the fall. Soccer was in the spring. So, and track was in the spring. But if I would have ran track in high school, I probably would not be at Misericordia.
It's pretty funny because you fucking despise running now.
I hate running. I liked sprinting. I like sprinting. I don't like long distance.
Remember when we raced? When we first started dating?
You beat me.
Let's fucking go. Remember that?
I wasn't in my prime. If you got me my prime,
I'm slow as shit. People always ask,
it was close.
like, let's race. Let's do a box jump. And I'm always just like, I'll never claim to be fast. I'll never claim to be explosive or be able to jump high. I suck at it. But we did those. I remember Stauffer challenged Coach Egbers, like, see how many of your guys could run. I think I got through 2. Was done. I couldn't do any more. And you guys had to do 10 to pass to continue.
Yep. And I think there was definitely one time that he was like, all right, one more. And we had to do an 11th one. And it was like a gut check. And everyone was like, holy crap.
Well, what is it? It's goal line or is it end line?
It's soccer end line. So that's farther than football field.
Yeah, it's 120.
Yeah.
And then it's
It's
17
seconds down. And then you have 55 seconds to get back. And that's like your rest. And then you just go again once 55 seconds are over.
What's the most you've done?
How many?
In a row?
11.
11?
Yeah. I never did any more than that.
I think the most baseball player got was like 6 or 7. And it was our dudes that run like, 530 miles, 520 miles.
I mean, we had to. You had to do that. So.
Team, Brandon here. I am the producer of all the NWS podcasts. Made a mistake. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but we lost some audio to this episode. So, as you heard, Ash was just talking about running that they would have to do during soccer practice in college. We lost a bit of audio, like I said, so now we're going to head into Ash talking about her experience working in a hospital because she is a nurse during the pandemic and coronavirus. So we'll learn from this mistake and promise that it won't happen again. So enjoy the rest of the episode.
I felt confident in my health that I could work through it. And honestly, I think I would have, you saw me when I finally went on maternity leave. I was 2 days out of work and I was going crazy. So I think that it would have been worse for me if I didn't go to work. You know what I mean? And didn't
Yes.
get around those things. Not even just in that sense, but in the sense of not getting, around these sick people.
You're a fucking worker, and you like to do things. Neither one of us do downtime that well.
Yeah.
Even when we have a planned day off, it's like we go do something. You would have lost your shit.
Yeah, and I would have, and since I've been a part of a team my whole life, with sports, I look at my coworkers as my team. And if I would have not worked, I would have been I'm letting my team down. And one of our charge nurses got sick with COVID. She was really sick. She was out for a month. They put me as the second charge nurse. I didn't take her position, but filled in for her basically. So when the main charge nurse wasn't there, I was the one that was in charge. And so just that was rewarding in itself because it's I could help, be the second charge and just help.
Do you think a lot of it is because you're so confident that you take care of yourself? Like, do you think that's a big thing of it? Because I know,
Yeah.
like, the way we live, unless we go somewhere where people are COVID fucking crazy,
Mm-hmm.
I forget often that we're
Yeah.
even in it, because I think it's such a, if you're a healthy person, I think it's fucking irrelevant, because we
Yeah.
both had it, and I think,
Yeah, we both had it, and I was probably I probably had symptoms for like 4 days, like at like the minimal amount of symptoms for 4 days. But yeah, I think that if you take care of yourself and you do the proper like diet and take your vitamins, that you'll be okay if you get sick. I mean, you know, people get sick from the flu every year.
yeah.
And I don't know. I don't want to say it's the same thing because I know it's different. There are different, you know, classifications or whatever that COVID is under, and different type of symptoms that occur. But people get sick all the time, and it's just how you take care of yourself.
I think it's an underlying thing. People are like, put your mask on while they're eating fucking McDonald's every day.
Yeah, the inconsistencies. Yeah, well, yeah, and that kind of stuff when you're eating like crap and then you wear your mask and you're like, oh, I'm healthy, or trying to like, you know, protect you. I just don't get it.
And I think a big thing too that really fucking makes me mad about the whole thing with that is like, you said it the most to me, is when you're not going out and you're always wearing the mask and you're not
Mhm.
breathing in any type of bacterias or anything, you're never strengthening your immune system. So when you got it, you were like kind of pumped when you found out, 'cause you're like,
I was so hype.
Emerson's gonna have the
Yeah.
antibodies, like her immune system's gonna get stronger, like,
And my OBGYN was like, that's probably the best thing that could have happened to you.
yeah.
Like you got it when you're pregnant. That's the best thing because now your baby, now Emerson has antibodies.
That's what I look at. Like, so these people that go COVID crazy and
Yeah.
they don't go anywhere, and then they're like, I'm gonna make an exception for this one event. I'm gonna come down and see. I'm
Mhm.
like, that's worse than going to that event every fucking week.
Yeah.
Because now your immune system's just shit.
Yeah. And you're not used to everything else too. I know a couple people, like not from work, but from like close friends that, you know, their parents were quarantining and they got sick, not with COVID, but got sick a different way because they weren't going out, and then they finally went out and got like a stomach bug because they haven't been anywhere with germs, and then this affected
Probably
their
not
body.
exercising. Probably
Yeah.
not eating the best things when you're sitting
Yeah.
at home either.
Well, yeah.
You know, boozing up and stuff too. I think it's like I don't know. There's a lot of crazy things with it, but I think you saw it firsthand, and I remember always texting you, and you could
Yeah.
see when things were changing, and you're like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people in here, but
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. There was probably like, I'm going to say 3 weeks that it was like, I can't even like catch my breath. Like I had 5 sick patients like running from room to room to room. And then, you know, and it was also bad and busy because staff members were out. We were short staffed. So that also like exacerbates the situation because, you know, you have 3 nurses for 20 patients. You know what I mean? So that makes it worse.
you know, that's why I think it's bad. You didn't call out one day,
I called out.
one time, but it wasn't
What?
because you were scared of COVID. I'm pretty sure you just used that as an excuse.
It was because I wanted to be off for a week
Yeah.
and hang out with you.
Yeah, it wasn't because you were
Because
nervous
you were
of
off.
COVID. Yeah, but you never once were like, I need just
Yeah.
a couple days. I need to do this because you didn't want to let your team down.
Yeah.
And that's what you do.
And
It's what you
I was
fucking
saving
signed up
all
for.
my time to hang out with my baby when I had her.
Yeah, I know.
I was
How
like,
many
I don't
extra
wanna-
days?
I don't want to use all my time now, like instead of, you know, when I could be actually hanging out with Emerson. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered. I found out after the fact, but whatever. I still wouldn't have took the time at the time. I still would have worked.
Do you think you would have viewed the whole situation different if you weren't pregnant?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. I think about that all the time. I would have worked more.
Yeah.
We would have
Overtime.
yeah, lots of overtime.
That means I could have done less.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow,
I mean,
sorry.
I've offered many times for you. I actually tried to convince you not to go back to work even still.
Mhm.
And you were like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You were like, I'll never, because I would say my goal is for you to not have to work, right?
Yeah.
My end goal is to be like, if you don't want to work, you don't have to work. So at the end of your paternity, I'm like, you don't have to go back yet. Whenever you want. And you're like, I'm going back. I have to work. I'll always work. It doesn't matter if we make billions of dollars. You'll still work.
Yeah. At least per diem where I can pick up, because, you know, you work so hard to get a nursing degree, and it is freaking hard. And you don't want to not be a nurse then.
Yeah.
You know? And I love the ER. I mean, maybe like in the future when we have more kids or whatever, like whatever the situation is, maybe
next year?
No. Need a house first.
Okay.
But maybe in a few years, depending on the situation, I won't want to work in the ER. But right now, I'm not ready to give that, you know, fast pace, don't know what you're going to get, adrenaline rush.
We have come to the golden time, though. You're coming off night shift.
Yes, thank God.
How much does night shift fuck your body?
Oh my God. It's honestly like every day you have to be like, okay, like if I sleep from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I'll get 4 hours. And then like I go into work at this time. It's just every single day you have to think about your sleep. And then if you want to, you know, the next day, if you have something planned, you're like, okay, well, should I sleep before I have this appointment or after this appointment? And you're just constantly in a constant tired state.
You cannot build a routine.
No.
You're trying to do a nutrition coaching right now, and it's...
Yeah, he's like, tell me your typical day of eating. And I'm like, well, I don't have a typical day. So it's not, like, I can't really tell you.
Do you
They say night shift takes 5 years off your life.
Well, why would you... Don't do that.
Well, I'm coming off in a month.
Thank God.
So.
Moving to 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Was that is that like how most people start, like when they go in you have to go night shift, or was it just for your, like, because the shift differential and everything?
Well, when I started in Wilkes-Barre, Geisinger, that's the only shifts they had. You know, and like at the time I was going with a couple of girls that I graduated nursing school with, my friends. So I was like, all right, like we'll all be together. It'll be fun. And it was fun. We were all young on night shift. We all just graduated nursing school, so we're all like, you know, doing our first time together. Then when I came to Jersey, I think there was only night shifts available. I mean, they're always short staff on nights because no one wants to work nights. And there is something about nights that I like when I'm there. It's like no administration is there. No one's like breathing down your back, do this, this, and this. You don't have to like, I treat all the patients the same, but when, you know, during the days, it's like you'd make one tiny little mistake, someone's like on your back.
Yeah.
So like night shift, you have a little bit more freedom of like just being who you are as a nurse and a person, and just everyone I work with is just more laid back, and that's my personality. So that's why I have been nights for so long, but now I'm changing because I want to be normal.
How brutal is it fucking breastfeeding with night shift? Because we'll have to because you're breastfeeding, you're sleeping while she's awake.
Yeah, and the thing is, I can't even really sleep that long during the day because I have to get up and pump. So right now, I don't even know what time it is right now, but like say I go to bed at 1 today, I'll have to wake up by 4:30. No, 4 o'clock at the latest so that I can pump for 20 minutes and then get Emerson in time, like before the babysitter like ends or whatever. So, and then I'll bring Emerson back home. And then I have to feed her before I leave. And then just pump at work. And I'm the bag lady at work because I have to bring like 800 bags.
You go into a secret room and pump?
Yep. Go in a secret room. I try to go between 9:30 and 11. Then I do, thank God for the portable pumps. I just pop them in and I still work at like 1 or 1:30 in the morning. And then I go again between 5 and 5:30. And then just do it all again the next day.
It's madness.
And then if I'm off for a day, then I just have to feed her.
It's a little more challenging, but we've probably saved thousands of dollars.
Yeah. It's just...
Is this something... No. You always wanted to
Mm-hmm.
breastfeed? It's a connection type
Yeah,
thing.
and I look at it as like we're taking care of ourselves the best way we can. and breastfeeding is the best you can give your kid. I mean, do whatever works for you, and it's working for us, and it is the best for your baby, and that's what I want to give to her, because like we're giving ourselves the best, so I want to give her the best.
Yeah, I think there's times where it can get super stressful for us. And I know I kind of,
Yeah.
I get stressed out because I'm like, oh shit, because obviously it's thinner, so it doesn't last as long, so it make you have to feed more often, and then you kind of take a step back. Like, you're right, we watch pretty much everything we put in our bodies. We should be doing the same.
Yeah. So that's like how I look at it when I'm like, oh my God, like, this is painful, or I'm so tired, I don't want to pump, or whatever it is. I just think she's getting the best that I can give her right now. I'm just going to keep plugging along.
How much, I know that I struggle with it, but how much has changed in your lifestyle and work-wise and everything, like separation? Knowing to spend more time and enjoy the time, not worrying about anything else, not working on anything else, just going there and sitting there and taking care of her. Like, do you find yourself not missing, but feeling like you're not doing? I think that's just me.
Yeah, that's just you.
Well,
what do you mean,
don't
missing
say
what,
that. Like, I'll come home and be like, I was so unproductive today, but you took care of the baby all day. I struggle if I come home in the morning. So I always come to the gym at 5 to 7. If I come home 7 to 9 and I'm not doing something productive, but I'm watching Emerson, I feel like I'm like, fuck, I should be doing something for work. I
mean, it's a daily battle, because there's days where I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to like whatever, do the laundry, do the dishes, clean the house, and then at the end of the day, like when I'm going to bed, I'm like, you know what? They can wait, because Emerson's not 5 months old forever. She's not this little forever. So I'm trying to get better at that. I mean, I feel like at first I was worse with that.
Yeah. Like,
the house is a mess, whatever, not really like taking it in. And then over time, it's like, you know what? Just enjoy this, because she's already 5 months old.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
The dishes, the vacuuming, the laundry, that can all wait, because you don't get these times back.
I struggle with it, and it definitely took, I think, some time and just talking to different people about it. Like, what of huge importance am I going to do being over here for 2 hours in the morning when I can go wake her up?
Yeah.
Like today, I could have just done some stuff here, and I was like, I'm going to go back home and wake her up so I can be there in the morning and then come back and do stuff. And it's like, your main job and your focus switches. I don't ever expect anyone that doesn't have kids to understand it.
Yeah.
But
because I never understood it.
No, I used to give people shit. I'm like,
Until
he's not
now.
working. He's fucking hanging out with his kid.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it's frustrating too when I hear it when people like they're like, oh, I'm stressed, or I got no time for shit. I'm like, you don't really know what that is yet. When if you don't have time for something, or you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, you're not. You can go home to a quiet place and do whatever the fuck you want to do. I look back now at all the time that we used to have alone, and I'm very happy for the change, but it just puts things in perspective. And looking back at the shit I used to get stressed about, or used to put off and say we don't have time, it's now everything changes. And like Seth said on the other one, it's like, it's just fucking go. It's just life go. It's not like when you leave, you're here. Now you gotta go be the best father. Then you gotta be the best boss. Then you have to be the best nurse. Now you're gonna be the best fucking parent, the best husband. It's just constant go, because that time alone is. And we used to spend a lot of alone time like away from each other, because our schedules were opposite. We'll get home every night and be literally alone from 7 p.m. until the next morning.
Yeah.
It's not like we would even fucking hang out. Sit in the garage and do dumb shit. Look at my bike. Yeah,
I can't do that anymore.
Need a pauser? No. I'm gonna dive in here. And you can tell me where you at with everything, the climate of society and everything. I think it's something that passion that you and I kind of share, and what people are turning into, when it comes to being fucking soft.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean.
I don't think I do.
Yeah, you do.
Give me a hint.
Just pussy society, toxic masculinity, fucking people bitching about everything, pointing fingers at fucking everything.
Yeah, it's just like everyone's so hypocritical. And everyone, I shouldn't say everyone, but you know who I'm talking about, think they're right. You know, no one can have their own opinion. No one can have a conversation about anything. And I don't know. It's just frustrating because I just feel like a lot of people don't have common sense either.
Yeah.
These days about anything.
People don't do enough research.
No.
And like you always say, you won't even voice your opinion on anything at work, because you'll be castrated, but you're the one probably that has more knowledge on everything, because people can't give you answers to why they feel a certain way.
That's the thing. Like, I don't ever bring anything up about anything because I'm sure there's just so much more knowledge about things out there. So when a topic is brought up, I'm like, let me like think about that. Let me like look it up.
Like you being racist for wearing that blue line shirt right now? I'm just saying. That's what half the country thinks.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Sorry, continue. It gets
What
me
was I
fired
even
up.
saying?
I don't even know. It gets me juiced up. You forget?
I was talking about, yeah, like people like to bring up points and topics about stuff that they have no idea about. They just see it on media, and that's the most frustrating part.
What is your thoughts on the toxic masculinity stuff? Even though you called me a tool earlier.
When
we were getting dressed. I was like, yeah, they said I look like a tool douchebag. And you're like, well,
obviously I'm joking. I'm busting your butt.
No, but like the stuff we're working on with Dave and having Seth
Yeah,
on.
I just think that I don't even know. People don't do their research enough, and they just like judge too much a book by their cover. And that's literally what I feel like toxic masculinity is, like people just judging. And that's just all this society is now, just judging everyone by their, how they look.
Yeah.
They don't like get to know someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's a big thing. And I always say, like, social media gives too many people voices that don't deserve one on certain subjects.
Yeah.
Like, if I want to fucking have a beard and tattoos and lift weights, like, someone from fucking Idaho shouldn't be commenting on my stuff saying that I'm toxic.
Yeah.
Right? Because who gives a shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And, like, people hide behind their, phone screens and just, like, say these words. Like, I'm sure if they're sitting right over there, they would never say that to you.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
So, or maybe, if they're sitting right over there, they could have a conversation with you and they wouldn't even think that.
Yeah. Get to know people before they start judging it.
So, I mean, I just hate social media and all of what it comes with.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's funny
it's
for
good
someone who's on it so much and always on Instagram, but
I know, and I run your page.
Fun fact about Big Ash, she is our social media
commenter
director, I guess you could say. She runs multiple pages. If you see any,
I'm
comments,
slacking recently. I'm slacking.
Yeah, she didn't get paid this week. No, I'm just kidding. She's the one that's always commenting, liking, doing all the stuff on there, because she's always wanted to get involved in the companies and the business, and I've always wanted it too. Just kind of find out something that fits your schedule. You're a repping no windy sleeves and fast switch hard.
Big Ash.
Why did she always say that? Here I am. I got a funny video I wish I could play on here.
What?
We're on our honeymoon. We're like,
oh no.
Here I am.
We can't play that.
Oh my god, that's my favorite video. I'll show you after, Brandon. No windy sleeves and everything. The movement, has it helped you? Has it, and seeing the team grow and being involved in it? Is it?
Yeah.
It's always hard when you know people who are doing it and you're not seen as like a Gary V or, but.
So, again, back to the judgment. I would judge people when they, their life was social media. And I'm like, why are they doing that? Like, why do they have to post everything? But now I have a new appreciation because it does, you do it. You guys do it. But you do it in a positive and motivational, inspirational way. And so it's helped me open my mind to, why people have careers on social media. And it makes me want to be better too. Like, I'm doing the nutrition with Dave. And, I feel like, Dave because no windy sleeves. So, like, it just all comes full circle. Like, I want to work out. and be the best version of myself I can, because you guys, everyone that is a part of No Windy Sleeves in the gym, that's what they represent. So, you know, if I'm going to be a part of this, that's what I want to represent too. Not just like for the image, but like internally, mentally, physically for myself.
Yeah, I feel like there's a direct carryover, you know, from it. And we just use the fitness as like the initial step to building. And everything changes when you go dominate one thing of your day. When you take care of yourself and you're just setting yourself up for more.
And I mean, you guys have definitely reached a lot of people.
Well, when you just said it, it kind of made me really like kind of open. There was like, oh shit, like, because now you equate Dave, you know Dave through No Windy Sleeves, and fuck, we just met Seth fucking Feroci.
Yeah.
You know, like, and all the different people.
And I mean, it hasn't even been a year. Like, it's been what, since
a year? It'll be a year in April, really.
Yeah, but not really, because we were still in quarantine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys have done a lot through, you know, less than a year, basically.
Yeah. And it's just, and like the team's grown, and like
and
seeing
I mean,
the families.
I was just gonna say, both of our families, like, you know, my brother, who he is passionate about working out and lifting, he's, you know, trying to turn this into his career, and you're helping him. And then my dad, who did this a long time ago, he's getting back into it, and it's just something that they love, and it's bringing all of us closer. And like, you know, your mom's picking up healthy habits, your brother's involved. It's just a family thing that, I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
Family business.
Just making a difference too. It's like, we're not always just trying to push something. It's just like, even if you can send a positive vibes to someone to start their day, the fucking woes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
but
woes.
You see how much shit I get when I go home to New Hampshire.
Yeah.
You know, from my friends that I'm willing to making all these videos. Well, again,
they only see the social media part. They don't, like, Ben even said it too, like, you have to literally come here and be here and see what goes on and like what you're doing. And like, then you'll know, like, okay, this isn't just someone like taking videos. Like, this is someone that wants to help me be better in just everything. And
does a lot of free shit and loses a lot of time with their family, their girlfriends, whatever, to help people. But like you said about judging people for living a life on social media, if my job, my passion, my vision is to help people, I'm going to show you every part of my day and my life and what we do to try to do it. And you can reach millions of people from your fucking phone.
Yeah.
If you're not doing that.
Real too.
It's kind of opening up everything else. You said it earlier. It's opened your eyes and given you confidence to do different things. It's taken time. Like, I don't give a fuck if my friends show. I mean, I actually like it because that means they're watching my shit and they're it's resonating. You know, I always say, you know, I'm like, I don't care what those people think about me because I'm helping this many other people. You know,
they'll jump on board.
They're on board. They support it. They just cringe. It's always different when you know people. You fucking hate when I record videos.
Now I'm used to it. I'm just like, oh, he's recording another video.
I try to do it. I would just be downstairs doing it. I'm like, fuck, she can hear me, and I know she's just cringing.
You come up and shut the door, turn the TV up.
Yeah. I've been trying to... when we do those things that we try to get... You did your first Pop-Tart video today?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I will ever be doing that. That's just not who I am. I'll definitely be behind the scenes. I'll videotape you all day.
Ashy Biz?
Yeah, sure.
Ashy Biz, Brandon? How's that sound? I'm going to ask her the question, Brandon. The Rurik's magic question.
Oh, God. Oh. If it's a Rurik question, I can only imagine.
No, it's a real question. It's a real question. What is No Windy Sleeves in your mind?
To me, No Windy Sleeves is a place you can go to grow. I always say it's a wellness like company. I always say mentally, physically, emotionally, it's just a wellness company. That's what I say, because it really is.
It's like it's a movement.
A movement. It's a movement.
It's
Is
not a
that what you
supplement.
wanted me to say?
I don't give
It's
a shit. I just
movement?
wanted. We always ask because we go back and forth in meetings all the time. It's like, what the
Yeah.
fuck are we? Are we supplements?
Well,
No.
every time someone asks me at work, I say it's a wellness company.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, realistically, you are.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it's not just like go there and work out. It's, like I said, mentally, physically, emotionally, anything.
And when we get inquiries about, hey, can you help me with this? We'll do whatever we can. If we have the resources to do it, we'll do it.
Yeah.
That's why we're always like, are we a supplement
Even like
company? No.
business wise, like
Yeah.
I feel like people have asked you like, hey, like or like Kitchen with his podcast, he like
Yeah.
reached out to you like whatever, like give me advice on this, like things like that. Like you're just
Make a difference.
yeah.
That's the big thing. I'm gonna go with some rapid fire questions
God,
here.
okay.
What was or who was one of the biggest influences on your life, making you the way you are?
Do I have to say one person?
I don't want to make it that hard for you because I know you're gonna be like, yeah. You
I
can say multiple.
Can I say like my family?
Sure.
Like
And why?
because we're like I'm very close with like my parents, my grandparents, both sides of my grandparents, and just all the different characteristics that they've given me throughout my life, and like the morals I guess that they've instilled in me, and like the importance of family. I think that's like the most important thing.
I can definitely see that because of how close you guys are, how
Yeah.
very similar everyone is.
Mhm.
5 years from now, where do you see yourself?
With you in a house, and with Emerson and Stark and another dog, and hopefully another kid.
Okay. So one more kid, one more dog?
Hopefully in Pennsylvania.
Well, we can go anywhere, hopefully, in 5 years.
Yeah.
What is your fitness goal, your next big fitness milestone?
To just get back to where I was.
Get
like
back
lifting heavy.
315 pull?
I don't know about that. Maybe Snoot Strength over there can help me.
I mean, you got a great
Shout out,
coach.
Coach.
That was actually going into my next question. You live with a coach, a nutrition coach, trainer, whatever you want to say. What's the
Trace.
difference? Why are you reaching out to other people? What's the difference with that? And how is it going?
You made me.
You don't listen to me when I have you do anything. You're like,
That was
I'm
like-
actually not going to do barbell back squats today. I'm just going to do leg extent, whatever.
You don't have leggings.
I know. I don't know where I was going with that.
No, I don't know. I don't know why.
All right. Let me rephrase my question.
Okay, this is what I'm
You
gonna
know
say.
what you're doing. Why do you have coaches?
To keep me on track, and because I'll do it for Jess. I will work out and be like, oh my god, I can't miss my workout today for Jess. But if it's Tut, like if it's you, I'd be like, whatever.
Literally.
I'll just tell him I'll work out tomorrow. And with Dave, I see he does like the nutrition for you, and it's very like laid out. And again, it's the accountability. I will follow it. For you, I'll be like, hey, let's go get a Snicker, or like let's have ice cream or
That's
pizza.
like really fucked up. Like, I'm your husband. You should want to do the things, you know?
I know, but the thing is, I enjoy cheating with you or going to get pizza. So like, I can convince you pretty easily.
Sometimes I actually will. She always gets mad at me when I say it, but occasionally I'll tell her I'm going to charge her to train.
Yeah. So
And she gets fucking heated.
Mhm.
I think the reason I ask that is because we always talk about like coaches needing coaches and how
Mhm.
important it is. Like, you can have all the knowledge, but it's not going to, that doesn't hold you. If you're only holding accountable to yourself, it doesn't work all the time.
No, definitely not.
I am the same exact way. I can fucking program for myself. I don't want to piss Ann off and not train that day. I was dreading texting Dave this morning that I lost 4 pounds
Mhm.
because that means I didn't follow the
Yeah.
program last week, you know, and it's like, all right, I fucked up. Now I have to do better, especially if you're paying for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's very important.
Mhm.
I think that's a really good point.
Yeah, the accountability.
Who's the greatest quarterback of all time?
Tom Brady.
Snoot question. Oh,
Oh boy.
could you be a hitman?
No,
Why?
I don't know. I never really thought of that.
Think about it right now.
I don't think so.
Why?
A hitman, like you kill
Like
someone?
kill people for a living.
No, because I would feel too bad.
Not a okay. Backdrop of this. Jess was asked that, and she said no because she's not trained enough. It wasn't anything about like feeling bad about killing people or not being able to kill people. It's because she. And Brandon said the same thing. I'm like, they're fucking psychopaths.
I'm not trained enough?
Yeah.
First off, I'm not even in here. That's not fair. Brandon said he couldn't do it because he breathes too heavy.
Yeah, he couldn't be quiet enough.
Breathes too heavy. Well, if you're talking about
No,
capability.
we're not. We're trying to see your mindset as to why you think you could. If it goes right
I
to
would feel too bad.
your skill level of not being able to physically kill someone and not the emotional part of killing someone for money, it's a little.
What did you say?
I would feel bad killing
Okay.
someone. I couldn't get
Well,
myself
there we
to
go.
do it. Not out of anger. Fucking rude.
You guys always do this to me. I'm here and you start talking.
You just stay over there in the corner, Jess. You don't want to be yelling again on this one and look a little mean like the last one. All right. We're going to wrap up. If you could give any advice to people kind of getting into it, going through hard times, and you can pick because there's a couple different things that you can choose from. Advice of people who are pregnant still during this pandemic or trying to better themselves and continue to work or.
So I'll say that one.
Okay.
Because you don't have anyone else on here that was pregnant. For the pregnant ladies out there, just know that this is only temporary, and you only do this, you only have your first kid or you're only pregnant for a certain amount of time. So enjoy it. Take in every single moment, even the bad ones, because that's what makes you better. Lean on your partner and your family. Have a great support system. And specifically to the pandemic, do what is best for you. If you want to go and see your friends, go see your friends. Don't listen to everyone social distance. If that's what's mentally going to help you, go see your friends. Who cares what everyone else thinks? If you want to go, to a crowded area, just wear your mask, whatever. But do what makes you happy, because that's all that really matters. And you're already going through a lot of emotions, all the hormones. And
Those are real.
Yeah, Tut knows.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, it's only temporary. It will be over, but enjoy it because it's a phase of life that you'll never get back.
That's very nice. I like that one. I have one more question.
What?
What's your favorite throwback memory of me and you?
There's too many. I think it was the 4th of July before we got engaged. We were sitting underneath my deck in my parents' house, and we were talking about just our future and everything. And then 3 weeks later, you proposed.
Bam. Rid of the room. All right. Well, thank you for coming on. Finally, 9 months in the making. I appreciate it. Very motivating, inspirational to a lot of people. Like I said before, I don't think you give yourself enough credit for everything that you do. So if you can sometimes take a step back and reflect on everything that you do and how much I appreciate it and how much, obviously, that people kind of look up to what you're doing. So appreciate you. I love you.
Thanks. Love you.
Love you all. Feel your body. Feel your sleeves. Let's fucking go.